It can boast of more than 17,000 defiance in Grand County. Into every village, every town, taking gold, setting traps, marry our sisters, loving to our wives. Nimba County is not reciprocating. You are not accepting Crown people into Nimba County. That is a serious problem for me. If we are accepting you and your people, your children, your brothers are buying land and living with us, and we are intermarried, you have that moral and religious obligation to accept us. Every Crown person that lives in Nima will lie and say they are people or they are crew. I'll give you two examples. There was a Nima lady who loved this Crown boy so much and said, let's go to my parents. And they went to the parents in the village. And the youth in the town realized that this boy she brought is a Crown boy. And they went to her and I said, this boy gotta leave. And she said, I love him, I can't let him go. In the course of 1 week, they poisoned him with their body.
Where?
That's in Lima. The second area was in right here, Fanle, which is right before you get to the bridge. The DLDA man came across late in the evening, came to Fanle to drink. The poison him with that. They had to told him to bring him by that road. I'm challenging the people of Nimba. We don't want to go. We are asking you to let bygones be by. There's a lady in town here who was renting in a Nimba lady's house, but she refused to confess that she's a Crown person. And they were so nice living together. But the minute that woman says she's Crown, the woman told her to leave. Those are the problems that we have. But in the meantime, we have Nimba people in Bowling Town, George Bowling Town, the town there, the town chief is from Nimba. We don't flinch, we don't bow our head when we actually accept it. When we accept it, we accept it.
I come to your office, you come to my office, you didn't tell me. We prefer to bring out to the public to say we are killer and we kill somebody. This is not good. During this gone election, you made a statement regarding Honorable Coon, who is now the vice president of the Republic of Liberia and president of the Liberian Senate. You acknowledged the Grand Judeans not to vote for a killer. You rather vote for we. Today, everything has changed. He's our vice president. He's the president of the Liberian Senate, before whom we sit as he presides. We are the elders from the two counties that fought themselves. The war is over. Everyone in this Senate met me here, and I'm still here.
Go ahead.
I have worked with every senator from Grand Jude, the representative Joe Honorable Zopena. He's the first I got to know when we went to Winnipeg, Ghana. And people said to him, don't sit by that murderer. He said, but our people killed them too, the war is over. I'm going to sit by him. He sat by me. And then we are here. We've come a long way. I have worked with every senator, Asa Yanibo, Marsha Dennis, Alfonso Gay. All we try to keep the peace. Not one soldier, not one senator from Grand Jude had ever talked bad about any of us in this country. Today, you have indicted the people of Nima again of poisoning someone from Grand Jude, or not allowing Grand Judeans to migrate. Everyone is allowed to migrate whatever country you want to go to. If you keep yourself conservative, you don't travel and settle there, well, it's up to you. But I want you to please, I beg you, to maintain the peace in your spoken words and all that you do. What you said today was a disgrace to the people of Nimba. I've been here long. That did not come to the attention, to our attention. Honorable Zopena was any Grand Judean person in Nimba country that you know of, you didn't tell us? Okay, I'm just hearing it. Please maintain the peace. God bless you.
People, I know you people here don't know that way. For 4 years in the country. I know you people don't know that when they said Banga was casual, they were going to. When they say your senator were enjoying himself in a bigger hotel in Nigeria. Yes, sir. When they stage you go up and they left it, they went and started enjoying themselves. We were here trying to stand in front of the enemy for Nima to survive. People are crazy, yo. If you are gay as Dr. Doro is one of them, you're getting a doctor 18 years for now what I thought. We don't do that fought for you for 14 years. You're very small too now.
The thing Sandaka was doing. No. If our young person was doing it, Sandaka was going to scare them with cartel that nothing is that. They ain't get nothing inside. No power, no traditional power inside, nothing. Any traditional chief that gets smartphone and roller watch. Any traditional chief, as in the sense of soul and body and traditional chief, that got cell phone, that smartphone, will watch that.
Who has that?
Zanakawa. That papa is smart and he just using job in his own. That man that not traditional man. Zanakawa.
Say that I think it easier way.
Hey, please, I'm speaking as senator. That man is greedy. He's unprincipled. He using these people in the name of traditional chief. He get no power behind him. He have power behind him. When Merikawa was gonna win. He can even make a web win in the number 2 in Grandmother Canada. He didn't want to get major. We are win.
Baby, what can that baby? What can get money? Yeah, you got your first man. You got your first man. You got first kid.
So just a jacket to ask Waka where you got the money from. If it is it for?
Yes. You don't got no right to ask Waka that baby. What can that child? What can that baby? What can get money? Yeah, you got your first man. You got your first man. You got first kid.
So just a jacket to ask Waka where you got the money from. If it is it for?
Yes. You don't got no right to ask Waka that baby. Huh?
But now president, anything do people sort of know they play get the money from?
No.
What they may ask?
No. And that's supposed to be that.
How is it be?
And that's supposed to be that.
How you think it's supposed to be?
And you cannot get no right to ask Waka, you must give me the money account, or either where you get the money from, and blah, 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 blah. Wow! Waka say where you got?
So like that money being getting verse from?
Yes! The trouble they want from that ass more, that he made me very. But who now in the country? That I tell you that.
But people can be happy when you get be saying that thing there. It can make the leaders there. Maybe that can carry one corruption. I won't be seeing the money.
It can make me happy. That first can I tell you get today. And I start that.
Wake up for your sleep. My sister, too long. We've been in our sleep.
Every morning, waking up from your bed and stepping out there is an opportunity. It is a sign that God is still in your life, that God is still alive. Whether you are accomplishing those things that you set out to accomplish, just know that because you're waking up in the morning, there is another chance, another time, another opportunity given to you to go on and work and ensure that you accomplish those things that you set out to accomplish. Good morning. This is Sky Morning Live on Sky 107.20. We're here Monday to Thursday, 7:30 to 9 o'clock. Today, we call it a week, right? To the presentation, the weekly presentation of the program, Sky Morning Live. Those of you watching the live feed, and this season with the know, COVID is now back in Nigeria. matter if you go. But I am some people, I don't want to say this, good morning. Welcome to another fascinating edition of the program this morning. I'm going to be speaking to a brother from the Custom Brokers Association of Liberia, the National Port Authority. Mr. Abdullahi Akaba going to be joining us this morning from 8:05 to 9 o'clock to talk about 4 issues. A couple of issues that we're going to be looking at this morning, ranging from charges, planes on containers, and so many things that they brokers see in the area that he is speaking against, that he is going to be highlighting this morning. But before that, many pending things to talk about. Tomorrow is going to be national holiday. I'm looking at the executive mansion page right now before me as I'm speaking to the program. The headlines are strong, but I can actually see the proclamation issued by the president declaring tomorrow is national holiday. Even though it's a holiday constitutionally, but there's also a political, constitutional presidential practice in Nigeria that every holiday the president must issue proclamation calling on Nigerians to observe and seeking the reason why they should observe. One of the past years have been here with Julius Akogbe there behind the scenes, setting up some things. But good morning, guys. Good morning and welcome to High Morning Live, our breakfast.
Good morning, Good morning, everyone. We are back this morning, and here is the last edition of the week. So we're going to wrap it up on Thursday, and we'll come back on Monday. Yeah, yesterday, as you said, tomorrow is holiday. So we're going to expect them to yeah, we have another video before the end. We normally do it late in the evening hours. What are they doing? April 1st is third day, bro. But anyway, let's wait and see. A lot of things to talk about this morning.
Absolutely.
A lot of things to talk about. Okay.
Get into it, and so that we can give our audience an opportunity to participate on the program this morning. Yesterday we talked about the issue of the resolution signed by the senators. By the way, I made a mistake. I said 29 senators signed, but it's actually 28 senators signed out of 29. When Senator James Barney did not sign. The reason why we have 29 senators because there's a vacancy in Nimba County.
Oh yes.
There's a vacancy in Nimba County.
Yeah.
And that's the place that Senator Prince Johnson. He has also, having signed the resolution, Julius, you're laughing. My old man is a controversial old man. I don't know. I haven't called him for a very long time, but I'll try to do that maybe today. So he signed the resolution. I mean, the way he's sounding since the signing of the resolution and thing, at some point he tried to blame the senators, the Senate pro tem for ignoring his county, for not including his county in the signing ceremony. But after signing, he spoke confidently that I affixed my signature there because I want to know what happened to the children of Nimba County. Many children were killed. They were put in wells or so on and then buried. Mass burials were carried on in Nimba County and so on. He wants to know what happened to the children, what happened to other family members who died.
What happened? Who killed people in the Lutheran church?
Exactly. He wants to know all of that. So from the way he sounded for me, it was a patriotic stance. After that signing ceremony, it was a patriotic stance he took to speak about the need for justice to be dispensed holistically, not just going after one person. But only to be contacted by a radio in Nimba County, a local radio there in Nimba County. Senator Prince Johnson somersaulted. He said, yeah, I'm telling you. I mean, that's my old man. Don't laugh. I told you already, Julius. You provoke me, I will do the same thing Prince Johnson can do. All right. So Senator Prince Johnson somersaulted, Julius. And he said to the guy that yeah, I signed a resolution. Let's see what happens next. But he's disappointed. What are his words? His words. I mean, he used
the man said, what should I do?
He used three adjectives.
What should I do? My colleagues were signing, and I mean, I had to sign.
Like he signed under duress.
Yes, I mean, So one of our callers said it yesterday. Said that guy, pretty just on this sign because his friend was signing, credit shame.
Yeah.
And he confirmed me on our local radio. He said, but why would do my friend was signing? I need to sign. I need to sign.
Absolutely.
I can't sit there and look my friend to sign because I represent my country. But let's wait and see. But as I said, man, Prince Johnson, all is not well with him as it relates to the Royal Economic Crime Square establishment. All is not well with him. I think what he did to sign that resolution, it was a pretense. He was trying to clear the shame from his face. But he was bold. He said, how can I be with a party that is targeting me? The establishing war crimes court. It's targeting me. So
But having said that, he did it to ensure that justice is brought to the people of Nimba County. Some of the people who died during the war, they only to go to Nimba County now, and speaking to a Nimba radio. And I wonder sometimes he thinks that when he makes a statement on a radio station in Nimba, it wouldn't spread nationwide. Sometimes I think that maybe he thinks that every media space that you use to send a message across, that message remains right in that space. No, sir, it travels. We can get the clips from Nimba, we can get it from Real Access, from anywhere around Liberia, and ensure that we bring them. Another thing he said is that the Unity Party is prosecuting him. I don't know why. And one of the things he mentioned that the reason why he thinks that the War Crimes Code is about him, most of the time when people talk about War Crimes Code, they mostly focus on Prince Johnson. When they say War Crimes Code, it's Prince Johnson, which for him is a terrible thing that people continue to do. But however, he has withdrawn his support to the Unity Party. From the Unity Party, by the way, he has withdrawn his support from the Unity Party, and therefore, at the same time, he's not going to be supporting the Unity Party candidate. He's not going to be supporting the Unity Party candidate in Nimba County, Nya Twain. He said he's not going to be supporting a person whose party is prosecuting him, whose party is after him to prosecute him. I don't know why the senator sees this war crimes code thing. He takes it too personal, like he's the only person who committed atrocities in Liberia. But I like the guilt he wears, though, because it's a sign that there are people who live here. They are passing around. They know fully well that Liberians, the people want them to be prosecuted. And one person who comes across that way is Senator Prince Johnson. He thinks that under no condition would they let him be, but he didn't expect that his friend, somebody he established alliance with, would go after him, would even think of establishing the War Crimes Code. The Unity Party did not, conclude on signing a resolution.
So, Matthias, let's listen to Senator Prince Johnson in Nimba.
Right, but I just want to let my thought on that. The Unity Party did not conclude on the signing of a resolution, or the legislature did not conclude on the signing of a resolution for the establishment of War Crimes Code, but because of Prince Johnson, but rather it's a fulfillment of the promise made by the Standard Bearer of the Unity Party, Ambassador Joseph Yuma Boaka.
Yeah,
but let's hear Senator Prince Johnson.
Let's listen to him. Let's listen to him. Okay, so be talking what be talking what I get it. It's playing, but very, very low. Very, very, very low. I don't know what's the issue.
All right, but our guest is around, Mr.
Oh.
Well, I'm hearing the plane. That's why I thought.
Yeah, well, it's very low. I don't know why.
Well, disregard you.
Let me get it. I want people to listen.
Right. So you listen to the senator. The senator is very, very, really angry with the way things are going with him under this regime. But it is for him. He thinks that it's all about Prince Johnson. Anytime we talk about war crimes, it's about Prince Johnson. And there's one thing he said though after the signing of the resolution. He said that it is just the signing. So thereafter, we will see what happens next. He thinks that
that's all we can take. Let's see. Let me try this way.
Right.
Deeply, seriously, regrettably disappointed because that was not the agenda for rescue mission. That was not what we planned to do.
So what were the exact agenda to know fully well that
agriculture, road, hospitals, schools, unemployment rate to be reduced by attracting investors. Those things that will build our country and change the lives of our people. Because World Grand Court will not help you. Who will you catch? Who will you leave? And you targeting me as a senator or Nema candidate for whatever reason, I do not know. When you talk about World Grand Court in this country, Prince Johnson is the one tapping the list. It's me that boycotted after. I didn't know he would do this. But if you want to bring World Grand Court, like I said, I have signed a resolution already because all my colleagues have signed a resolution in our law. Let's see what the next step will be. If you want to bring World Grand Court in the face of the TRC report that the Supreme Court has condemned, there is a recipe for dissatisfaction because the Supreme Court of your country condemned it. Another thing is you want to bring World Grand Court. Why don't you deal with the government of America directly and ask them, this is what I want. Why are you dealing with the NGO? Americans who are not representing America, but they have their own NGO. You're calling them to help you lobby for the establishment of the World Grand Court because they promised you $230 million. They promised boycott $230 million. Some of the money have been given already. They use it on the ground for people to sign. Yesterday, I was so embarrassed. All the senators signed.
Who exactly are they giving the money to? Are they giving it to the senator or?
I don't know about giving money to senator, but it happened from the lower house. That was exposed.
And Julius, that is an accusation. At this point, Senator Prince Johnson is disturbed. He's troubled. So he may go on to make a lot of mistakes, to make a lot of statements, to make a lot of assertions concerning who is doing what, who is not doing what.
So let's play the one when you talk about withdrawing your support from Yan Twine, the UP candidate,
right,
in the Nema by-election.
Right. The
man say he's not supporting the again. In fact, the one for opposition.
Talking about it this morning on Zoga, I will not support Yan Twine, whose party is prosecuting us and want to deal with us. I will not support a senator from the ruling party whose party government is initiating a war chronicle against us, and we being the prime target. We need an opposition senator in the House. The opposition senator will dissect the report and do justice to the report and bring peace to Liberia. Not a senator from the ruling party that is bringing war chronicle and plan to indict a senator from Nema County. They want to remove me to replace me with Yan Twine. That's the fact. That is the fact. Initially, I made a statement. I was supporting her. But that time, all these things are unfolding and that come about, they were done secretly on the ground. But they are surfacing. And so why do I support a candidate from a ruling party that is bent on bringing something against us that is not called for? That's what I
with the way Bouakai government is proceeding, if you were to grade the CDC-led government and Bouakai government, what would be the percentage, Senator?
The CDC government little bit try, but they've many bad things. Kill the auditors and say they were having sex in the car on Broad Street, which is a blatant lie. They took our money, 1.5 million every year for Nema County from a Meta City. 6 years of Joe regime at 9 million. He took all our money and ate it and so forth and gave Nema County one post office, after we put into power. The same thing with this man. But when you compare George Weah, he did some little thing. He built a park for children to play. That's what I can say.
That's right. That's Senator Prince Johnson. But tomorrow is holiday, and like we said, the president will issue a proclamation. We just want to let you know in case you forget about that. And yesterday, our Muslim brothers and sisters observed the holy month of Ramadan. We also want to say congratulations to them and thanks to them as well for praying for the country, Mama Liberia. They I think it is their prayers, the collective prayers of every religious person in this country who is spiritual. All right, because there's a difference between religiosity and spirituality. Most of the time, people are religious, but they're not spiritual. So for those of you who are spiritual, you most of the time communicate with God. I'm very sure it is all of us or all of you prayers that's making Liberia to accomplish those things that she's been yearning for, like for the establishment of war and economic crimes code in Liberia, where when someone leaves school and they enter university, they enter government, they wouldn't see government as an entitlement. They wouldn't see government asset as an entitlement, but rather they will work to ensure that they earn justly and take care of their families without, robbing the country of anything. But that's Senator Prince Johnson. Let's speak to you, public, briefly. as we go to war, the Voice of America's news for 5 minutes, and then thereafter we come back. We'll be joined by our guest, Mr. Abdullah Kiatamba of the Custom Brokers Association of Liberia. Let's hear you. Call us on those numbers
for the next 5 minutes.
Right.
Why do you make of Prince George's summer sorting after announcing that he will support Unity Party candidate, right?
Right.
Nyantoya in the Nima County by-election. And now he said, no, he's not supporting the mayor again. In fact, the Unity Party want to replace him with Nyantoya.
Yeah.
So he's not supporting the mayor. In fact, they're bringing in one crime squad to prosecute him. What do you make of that? 0777 in the next 5 minutes. 0777 107 0777 221 223 are the numbers you can call to have a say. Well, the same Prince Johnson we knew before. That is, someone will say he's not consistently consistent. The mayor says something. When you say something, be careful. You go. Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, okay, let's hear you.
Not bad. I think Senator Johnson should understand that it is not President Bouaka who's opting for this war in economic crime. I'm one person too. My mother died in a place.
But he's looking at you. You're layman. You're looking at Bouaka, who is president.
I'm saying his understanding is because he supported UNIPA, so Joseph Bouaka will not do that. President Bouaka should not do that, and he making it as a mistake. We are in a larger majority. The more president, the larger majority that is pushing the government to do that.
Okay.
So he should understand. The best he can do is to look for a lawyer. That's one that he make it that's one the problem. We are entities there from the war. Those people need a reparation, they need compensation.
Okay.
They just benefit the family members. Thank you.
Thank you. Spoken well. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Yeah, good morning to you. How are you coming on?
We better. What's the name?
This is Ebi Kali.
30 seconds.
I'm calling for Jamaica Road.
30 seconds, please.
You see, my brother, when Johnson should have crowd wolf. I've seen a frustration on a part. So, all the atrocities the man has committed. You should feel justice, my brother. From all I hear, we feel the action of Prince Johnson. Let me tell you this morning. See, I hear from which is son of my senior senator, 1990, was killed by Prince Johnson. My representative was killed by Prince Johnson. And one of my prominent citizens, my dear Larry Potter, was killed by Prince Johnson.
I mean, the allegation there, man. I mean, I'm from Gittiba. The allegation. What do you make of the man someone sorting now? Is he not supporting Antoine again? That's the question.
Yeah.
And the man regrets on the article resolution, sir.
No, the time is coming. Okay, he was talking about people killing auditors. Johnson should be said. I still crying wolf now.
Okay, thank you. Line one, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Quickly, what's your name?
Thank you, Sir Emmanuel M. the UK of Nima Kwado County.
Okay, let's hear you. Nima Kwado. Your Kingsman is crying.
Thank you. I will call it crying, but for me, let me first of all say grateful to Senator Johnson for facing his signature to the War Economic Council establishment. You know, for us, what has informed us that our decision is, if you look at the analysis made by you guys and Senator Johnson want to know what happened to the Lutheran massacre war. He wants to know how, some of those things. And let me say this, brother. The issue of the war and economic crime court, I don't want for Senator Johnson to be looking at it to say he is the only person targeted. That is not true. Because the fight.
But the man keeps saying they targeting him. He said going against blah blah. So what you do?
This is what we are saying. They should not feel that he is only be targeted, because the fact is there are a lot of Nigerians who were killed, brother. At that time, we don't want to bring it back to the present, but at that time.
Okay, time now, favor. Thank you very much. Let's talk to international caller quickly. 30 seconds. Good morning.
Yeah, good afternoon, Nigeria. Good afternoon, Mateo.
Hey, is that Mohammed S. Kamara?
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah,
let's hear
Mohammed Kamara from United Arab Emirates.
30 seconds.
You people said it all, but for me, the war, because I not get time for economic crime. The war crime in that draw. If Ladron was really sincere for us to establish the war crime, they offer locally good. How the war begin? Who sponsored the war? Then America tell others who next sponsor the war, how Nigeria managed to have ammunition and money to fight the war.
Okay.
Then they tell others before we can put pen to paper. We should not only look at those who kill, then look at the support.
Okay. Thank
Then
you.
look at the support. Forget about the men that killed. Look at the support. Who supported the war?
Thank you.
Who
Thank you.
supported the war?
Thank you
Those
very
are the
much.
people
Thank
who
you,
are sending
Mohammed.
people
Thank you.
to
Time
recruit.
is on our favor. Let us now join the VOA to bring you the news. We'll be right back at 8:05.
Hamas political leader Ismail Haniyeh said Wednesday that an Israeli airstrike killed 3 of his sons and at least 2 of his grandchildren. The Israeli army confirmed that it was responsible for the attack, saying all 3 were active in Hamas. The army did not say where the strike took place, but Haniyeh said it was in the Shati refugee camp where they lived. In an audio interview with the Al Jazeera news channel, Haniyeh, who is based in Qatar, said the killing of his sons would not affect Hamas's positions on a deal for a ceasefire in exchange for hostages. Linda Gradstein, VOA News, Jerusalem.
Hamas has been designated a terrorist group by the United States. The U.S. military said its forces destroyed 8 aerial drones late Wednesday in areas of Yemen controlled by the Houthi militant group. U.S. Central Command said in a statement the drones presented an imminent threat to U.S., coalition, and merchant vessels in the region. CENTCOM also reported destroying 3 other Houthi drones early Wednesday, including 2 that were over the Gulf of Aden and 1 over the Red Sea. The United States is leading a coalition effort to help protect the key shipping route through the Gulf of Aden and the Red Sea from attacks by the Iranian-backed Houthis. The Houthis, designated by the U.S. as a terror group, have said their campaign targeting ships is in solidarity with the Palestinians amid the Israel-Hamas war in the Gaza Strip. Follow us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at voanews.com. as well as on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter. And also remember to download our VOA News app. This is VOA News. About 200 Myanmar soldiers have reportedly withdrawn from the southeastern town of Myawaddy after several days of fierce fighting with anti-junta rebels. A spokesman for the ethnic Karen National Union said the troops have reportedly gathered at a bridge connecting Myawaddy to neighboring Thailand. Hundreds of people lined up on Wednesday to cross into the kingdom after the days of fighting around a key trading outpost. Myanmar's military-run regime is reeling from a series of defeats across the country at the hands of anti-junta forces who have joined with ethnic armed rebels who have been fighting for decades for greater autonomy. The military overthrew the duly elected civilian government of Aung San Suu Kyi in 2021. Former President Ma Ying-jeou of Taiwan said Taiwan and China can peacefully resolve their differences. He made the assertion Thursday in Taipei after returning from a meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping the day before. Ma said he hoped young Taiwanese can put aside ideology and realize the shared historical and cultural links between Taiwan and China. It was Ma's second meeting with President Xi. The 2015 meeting in Singapore during Ma's presidency was the first time that leaders from both nations had met following the end of the Civil War in 1949, when Chiang Kai-shek's nationals fled to Taiwan after losing to Mao Zedong's communist forces. China has repeatedly vowed to bring the self-ruled island under its control by any means necessary, including a military takeover. More than 2 decades after hosting the Winter Olympics, the Western U.S. city of Salt Lake City, Utah, is making another bid to bring the games back in 2034. AP correspondent Haya Punjabi has more.
Members of the International Olympics Committee are in Utah this week to see if Salt Lake City is the right fit for the 2034 Winter Olympics. They last hosted the International Games in 2002 and have spent millions of dollars to make sure that its Olympic facilities don't fall into despair in anticipation of hosting again. Carl Stoss, an IOC member and chair of the Future Host Commission, says the city seems enthusiastic to host again.
We'll go now in a deep dive. We'll go in analysis the different concepts we reached before, but we have a very good feeling. The preparation was still since 4 years.
I'm Haya Panjwani.
Many of the past Olympic host cities around the world have decided in recent years against making another bid for the games. The sporting spectacular is a notorious money pit, and climate change has curtailed the number of sites that are now capable of hosting. Issues in the News is VOA's premier news discussion program. We take on the biggest stories of the week and discuss them in detail with those who have unparalleled expertise. I'm Richard Green for VOA News.
Exclusive from hotlbr.com.
When they welcome me, they say they were freedom fighter. When they welcome me, they say they were liberator. But when they kill their crown, they change their mind. When they kill their crown, they change their mind. What kind of people they sue? They are freedom fighters. What kind of people they sue? They are freedom fighters. You freedom fighter, you raping our women. They are freedom fighters. Freedom fighter, you killing our children. They are freedom fighters. Freedom fighter, you destroying our country. They are freedom fighters. Ayo, 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 ayo. Ayo, ayo, ayo. Ayo, yo, ayo, ayo. Ayo, 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 ayo. Ayo, 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 ayo. Ayo, ayo, ayo. Ayo, yo, ayo, ayo. Ayo, ayo, ayo. When they were coming, they said they were liberator. When they were coming, they said they were liberator. But when they kill their crown, they change their mind. When they kill their crown, they change their mind. What kind of people they sue? They are freedom fighters. What kind of people they sue? They are freedom fighters. Freedom fighter, you raping our women. They are freedom fighters. Freedom fighter, you killing our children. They are freedom fighters. Freedom fighter, you destroying our country. They are freedom fighters. Ayo, 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 ayo. Ayo, ayo, ayo. Ayo, yo, ayo, ayo. Ayo, ayo, ayo.
And that's right. Good morning. Welcome back to the program Sky Morning Live on Sky 107.1. Earlier, I mistakenly introduced my guest, but my guest is from the Bureau of that's the Custom Brokers Association of Liberia. Their offices are somewhere around the National Port Authority. They have that gigantic building right opposite the port. The guys are doing well. That building was just it was a misshaped initially a few years back. I think back in 2007, 2008, when we were hustling around there, there was nothing like that building there. I mean, the guys are doing well with it. Well, anyway, welcome. He's Maurice Kyatamba. He's our guest this morning. He contested for president of the Custom Brokers Association of Liberia, but he lost to Mr. Hine. Hine won the election. James R. Hine won the elections, and Hine will be inaugurated on the 26th of this month. But Mr. Kyatamba is here. Good morning, Kyatamba, and welcome to Sky Morning Live. It's a pleasure having you, sir.
Good morning, Matthias, and good morning to the Sky and family. Good morning to the peace-loving people of Liberia once more.
Right. It's been a long time. I mean, it's been long since we last spoke. How was the election process?
Well, the election process was very unique. See it like placing the National Custom Broker Association on a different trajectory where people will see democracy from our institution have partially resembled our national democracy in terms of allowing people to have the will in deciding how best they can sell their quota and making our institution to be more vibrant, allowing people to witness some policy-driven issues that you think you can bring to the table as an individual. Kyatamba came to the table with that thoughts from the secretary standpoint, and he went to the elections. The masses spoke. They spoke in the favor of the current president, James Lawrence Hine, who happens to be my current boss, because at the 26th, at the inauguration, I'll be turning over power to the newly elected Secretary General, and then I'll remain to be a person on the other side of the device, making the cases for.
On the other side of the divide, meaning what? You're going to cease to be a broker? You're going to be still going to be a broker, or?
Obviously, I will be a custom broker, but in terms of being a part of the leadership structure,
No, you're not.
I will not obviously be a part. So,
Are you going to be considering yourself as an opposition?
I will obviously be an opposition because we believe that there will be differences in thoughts, and it will be the workings of us to make the cases so that the Brokers Association, the people of Liberia, the government of Liberia will need to hear them so that they can give it serious attention.
Was the election free, fair, and transparent?
Normally, it is speculated that elections always are free, fair. But
the expression election free, fair is a speculation, is how you see it?
That's how I normally see it. At the end of the day, when election is ended.
So does that apply to your election too?
Holistically, all around the world, if you look at elections, most often after the results are announced, the individuals of whom may be served as defeater will see that there was some odds in the process, and I witnessed similar. Currently, as to speak, the Custom Broker Association elections were 11 positions, or were 8 positions rather. And at a point, there was a hot place on one of the candidates who happens to be the national mayor. So as to speak, currently, that election is yet to be conducted. So
I know that there's one more election to be conducted.
So in your own self, the candidate was actually placed to a halt on the basis of him not be a full-fledged member to be conducted. But that candidate had the opportunity to participate in terms of voting in the election. So in my own mind, those are some irregularities. And
no, give me a moment. He was barred from participating because it speculated his membership was not proved.
Yeah, his membership was not proved.
All right, and then he voted.
He voted, and that's a violation of the rules because
how can the man be contesting? And the legitimacy of his membership is questioned, and then he has voting right.
So that's the reason why I'm saying the elections is speculated that in terms of transparency, we don't want to go in.
But you accept the result, right?
The result have been accepted. I appreciated the president. We are in regular conversation. As I speak from here currently, we have some meeting because I still served as the Secretary General.
Right.
And my functions will be ending, like I said, on the 26th after inauguration, and then Kiatama will wear another jacket.
Is it the only instance you saw during the election period where the guy was not qualified and then he still want to vote? Is it the only instance you saw? Or maybe you saw some instances. Irregularities.
Besides that instance, there was another instance that occurred between the treasurer position, where one of the candidates had issued and she wrote a protestation letter to the Independent Elections Commissions on the basis that the victor of the election won her by 2 votes, and at the period of the voting exercise, she saw 2 individuals who came to vote, and actually our voting is like you must be attached to a clearing firm. And 2 other individuals who came to conduct the exercise in terms of voting exercise in the franchise, they couldn't identify who were the bosses. She raised those issues, and at the end of the day, they told us the process was fair. So she felt disenchanted, and those are disenchantment.
She did not participate.
Was she in your camp?
No, she was not in my camp.
Okay.
And she was not a member of my camp, but she was an affiliate member supporting in disguise.
Affiliate member supporting in disguise and things.
Okay.
But why did you contest in this process? Why did you participate in the elections? What exactly were you taking to the table if you were elected as president?
There are numerous of issues. If I try to itemize them, we might not go to the core issue.
Let's sum them. Let's sum the core ones.
In summary, the National Customs Brokers Association remains to be an institution that is enacting the law by our government to serve as a watchdog to the business community and allowing, if there's a bottleneck, to flag these issues and bring some recommendations to central government to give it attention in having a very smooth workings in terms of trading activities of our country. Besides that, our working in the region, in the Mana River region, in that of even ECOWAS, we need to have seamless in our trading environment. The Custom Brokers Association under the wings of former President Ivan Ive Toumé, he made our institution to be recognized internationally, where we became a part of the International Federation of Custom Brokers that is headed in Oslo, in Canada. The head office is in Canada. And then we happen to be at the time a member of the board of that institution. We had a series of travels to the US, to Asia, and other countries around the world discussing trading activities at the international standpoint. Currently, as we speak under the administration of President James Hinne, those are things that are lacking, and we feel that leadership is continuity. If someone comes with these basic ideas, it need to be fostered, given serious attention, so that the government locally will know that there's an institution in Liberia that's helping significantly in the trading environment, thus to helping government in raising needed revenues in terms of building and attending to those budgetary allotment that they indicate in the national budget.
You served as Secretary General while Hinne served as president, and now he's re-elected. If you say those things that President Tumbe instituted are missing, it means that both of you failed. Both of you failed because you were the secretary. You could have recommended a number of things. You were the SG.
And you attended all the meetings.
All of the meetings.
The records are there. Sorry that we can't display them here because they are not here, but we made those cases in most of our executive conversations, in our executive meetings, that these are things that needed to be attended to. Like I said, us have our conversation. We were a very full-fledged member of the Chamber of Commerce, where the president of our institution normally used to be a council member of the Chamber of Commerce. Even if Tumbe was a full-fledged council member of the Chamber of Commerce. But on the other side of the verse, it didn't happen under the hours of current President James Hinne, and that ESF alone remains to be a concern to him.
No, but I'm getting something wrong here. How Tumbe serve in the council of chamber, and then the next president coming doesn't serve there? How was it arranged? So how's the arrangement like? Was it like he was just handpicked, come and say because you are vocal or what?
No, the Custom Broker Association, like I said from onset, they are catalysts in the trading environment, and our membership at the Chamber of Commerce need to be regularized on an annual basis. That is one of the points that you need to do as an institution. If you choose not to do on your own thoughts, maybe obviously your membership will be questioned and your activities with them will be a little less. Under the watch of President Hinne James Lawrence, those are things that we actually did not witness. We made cases that we needed to do because it will give us an additional voice to be heard, because the Chamber of Commerce remains to be like the moral institution for almost all of the basic entities within our trading environment. With that, they will place us, while it's true, we'll have the core issue to discuss, but in those meetings at the Chamber of Commerce where all business stakeholders will meet and you reflect these issues, they will give some attention. Those were some of the thoughts that the Chamber of Commerce saw when having made us to be a member of the Chamber of Commerce. Our Senate in the Chamber of Commerce went at a very rapid stage, and we constantly, by then I was the financial secretary, regularly regularized our status with the Chamber of Commerce in terms of paying our dues, paying whatever fees that needed to be paid, and giving you all the needed change.
So when Mr. Hinne came, he stopped paying the dues.
So things were at another 14. Things were another 14, and they didn't go in line with how we thought of.
You didn't respond to the question.
So
did he stop paying the
dues? So these were not actually paid.
But when you serve as Secretary General, how many times did you represent the leadership of the National Custom Brokers Association at the level of the Chamber of Commerce meetings or some discussions? Were you at any point in time
under whose administration?
Under Hinne's administration.
So Chamber of Commerce placed a call to us on 2 separate occasions. And those 2 separate occasions, it was like a trade facilitation conversation that encompassed all of the businesses in Liberia. That was now a Chamber of Commerce regular meetings that I witnessed on 6 occasions as a financial secretary on Avin. That was not of nature. But at that conversation, they brought our attention. There's a need for people to regularize the status so that we can make these necessary issues. And it was actually...
Did you raise these things during the campaign that I served as Secretary General under this man, and currently our status with the Chamber of Commerce, the mother body of all businesses in this country, we don't have a good standing because I recommended repeatedly to the President Hinne, now contesting for this position again, but he did not listen to me. Why didn't you bring these things up during the elections? Or did you?
I brought them, Children Kazulu, Fides Teli.
Right.
They serve as moderators on those elections, and they can bear me witness to that. I even questioned the body to check on the International Federation of Custom Brokers at that debate to see that our membership had been denied. We are no longer a member. They should go to Google and Google it. And IFCBA, you will see that the NCBA is not a member. But when people's minds are made up and they don't want to see a critical voice, thinking that Ketem will be one of the persons who will always wanting to stage these harsh attention for government to give. So other people saw that and they chose not to give Ketama a chance.
So do you think Mr. Hine action was deliberate, or you don't have the finances to regularize your status?
Finances can be your issue, but
so was it deliberate?
You know how he talks in terms of the completion of the building project, and which I said to him numerous occasions that can be a stopping point to align us to attempt to paying the regular dues to this institution, of which when I was serving as a financial secretary, we were also paying rent. Currently, we are not paying rent, and we were paying all of these fees to these institutions. We were attending the regular summits, the regular meetings. Also, Liberia flying from here there. But under your administration, things are not happening in that regard. And I see it, like I said, policy-driven issues, right? Every leader, why should the leadership will have a co-thought, but the leader who happens to be the captain behind his own personal thinking in terms of taking veto on some conversation, and at the end of the day, it will go the way he think he wants it to go. So it was some of these reasons that precipitated Ketama to have a rethink. Say, I believe that I've had sufficient understanding in the administration here. I spent pretty close to 12 years in leadership. I've visited series of meetings nationally and internationally. I've established the Manor Custom Broker Union, and I see it like a beginning point for the Miko State. So let me look at a bigger picture so that we can take the mantle of authority for our institution to change the narrative, to rebirth the burning fire that we had on our past leadership, specifically President Tumbe, so that our workings in Liberia will not be like people going to Waterside Market to just buy food for the day, but at least getting prepared for the entire year. That were my thoughts.
With all these you've said, what can you say before we get into? I think there are 4 critical points that I have listed for us to have to look at today. What can you say about the future of the leadership of the National Custom Brokers Association? Is it blurred, or there's going to be brightness? Do you think this person is going to take a paradigm shift and start to listen to recommendations?
So I see him of recent in a posture that he wanting to give ears, but the difficulty that I see is that the new folks that have come to the table, in terms of the understanding in the workings of the institution, I see it being a little bit difficult. The role of the Secretary General was a very key role. The Secretary General helped to make the institution to be very functional and very proactive in terms of the activities. And the current individual of whom that will be coming after me is no form of denigration, but I believe the level of capacity to actually function in such a regard, it need to be developed on, and we can show if they gave some attention to us, wanting us to give some tutelage, we could help in that regard.
But you've declared yourself an opposition. Would you be available to assist? That's a question.
As an opposition, in as much as the institution remains to be the premier of all of us, and we don't want it to dawdle where it will fall down the pecking order and make it difficult for us to rebirth it. We will be willing to give out our view, our thoughts, but we will remain to be one of those lone voice, us of the leadership, to create the necessary checkpoints to the current administration. We can show you that.
Well, Julius, like as you know, I think two weeks ago, or less, I think it's the same week, right? We had a conversation with the president of the Fuller Business Association and the president of Patel, Mr. Dominic Nimle and Mohammed Barry, the same week, right? Couple of issues that they think that need to be resolved in the port. For example, Metec operations in Liberia. You as a custom broker, you have several years of experience or so and thing. What do you know about Metec? Obviously, you should know about it. What is Metec? What does it do? How is it helping business people? How is it helping you custom brokers to ensure that your partners who are business people are satisfied by its operation in the port?
So
let's begin by defining it. What is it? Where is it from? What is it doing in the port?
Metec Scientific Liberia Limited is an institution. If you Google, you will see basically the functions are all about medicine. They do not have the basic understanding in custom related workings, but on the wings of former president, we are with the Liberia Authority. The peace be upon Ashes Tomonando, they brought into Liberia Metec Scientific after the contract of BVAC International got terminated, to have an institution to serve as a a conduit to the business association and that of the Liberian Authority in terms of doing documentary inspection. BVAC International, at the time of being here in Liberia, the functions were to do pre-shipping inspection, but then Liberia was a part of the WTO, but our working where we gave room to third-party involvement or actually look at in allowing business people who goes to China, US, Asia, rest of other countries to buy goods and ship to Liberia. You do what we call pre-shipping inspection. At that stage, BVAC officers were present if you wanted them to be present. If you're not, there will be penalty levy against you by the Liberian Authority because they mandated all businesses to do pre-shipment inspection overseas so that the customs here in Liberia will have a clear picture on all of those commodities that you have loaded on board the container, so that in the process of doing the analysis in giving to you your custom duty will be fair. So government say and WTO say third-party involvement in trading activities remain to be a technical barrier to trade. We should abolish it. A businessman should go to the US or go to China and buy his or her goods, load it on board the container, and come to Liberia and you do your direct documentary inspection. On that basis, the government said, let's bring back an institution to help out in that regards called Medtech Scientific. Medtech Scientific hired all the service. 85% of those who were working for BVAC International to fit in for Medtech simply because of the capacity issue. And the individuals serve in said capacity. But this is the core issue. The Medtech Scientific that is currently in Liberia, one, they do not have the basic technical capacity in terms of even infrastructure. They came to Liberia informing our Liberian government that we will come, our coming to Liberia will bring significant changes in terms of helping the business environment, allowing government to raise the basic revenue, building the capacity of the custom brokers and all other players within trade environment. Unfortunately, since they have been here, they have past 2 to 3 years, nothing of those things have been witnessed. Firstly, they said to us that they're going to acquire a land at the Freeport of River where people involved in commingle goods that go and buy goods from separate factories, assuming Matthias and Katamba went to China and along with 2 other persons who chose to buy some commodity and load it in a container, but it is consigned to Matthias. But obviously, it is owned by 4 separate individuals. They said to us in that regards, they're going to be a warehouse here where if those kind of commodity come to Liberia, they'll empty it in the warehouse. If Matthias has the chance to go and get his and his money is available, they will create a room for him, Matthias, to pay his custom duty and get goods out. Unfortunately, it's not happening. They also said to us that they're going to build for us here in Liberia a scanning machine to avoid the 100% human or interaction during inspection, where when the container comes at the port, there's no need that the container be open within the port environment to do inspection. It will pass through the scanner. The scanner will give you at least 85 to 90% insight on the kind of commodity that's in the container that will match with the declaration.
Right.
With that, it places on some better room. They said to us they're going to build a facility where they'll be conducting regular trainings to be able to at least help people to have a basic understanding. Quite unfortunately, 3 years we've been paying the required fees that they enshrine us to pay, but there's nothing of said nature have been done. Worst of all is that it's a prerequisite to the declaration to a system that is branded by UNTAC called ASACUDA. Before you engage customs,
The ASACUDA is the same Medtech that is operating.
no, ASACUDA is operating by customs.
Okay, right.
LRA.
The LRA, Revenue
Yeah,
Authority. And with that system, in my mind, in the mind of the business people, we have been in the environment for a good number of years. There's no need for us to have Medtech here. There's absolutely no need to have Medtech here. If you do a case study like I have done on time past, if you go to Sierra Leone, you go to Guinea, you go to Ghana, you go to Africa Coast, third-party engagement in the trade environment remains to be a technical barrier to trade by the WTO. The WTO frown on third-party engagement. It says the government should do the work required hard to do to gain the necessary revenue for our country. In this regard, it means that a businessman comes to Liberia to do business. The Ministry of Commerce and Industry remain to be the premier institution in terms of our trade and trade in our country. You must submit to the Ministry of Commerce your pro forma invoice that will be analyzed through a section at the Ministry of Commerce to approve the process of your purchase, to sign up to an import notification form by the Assistant Minister of Trade, giving you the permit now to go and directly do what we call the IM4 declaration under the ASACUDA regime. With this, it helps to avoid time consumption in allowing the businessmen to go to storage and demolish. It helped the businessmen to be very fast to get goods out to the end users to be able to buy on time. It helped the businessmen also to be able to pay some loans that you have taken from bank within time after his sales. But with the involvement of METEC, METEC now remains to be a prerequisite. You must, after you have left from Commerce Ministry, hear the pattern. After you have left from Commerce Ministry, we are saying there's no need to go to METEC. You should go directly to customs in as much as your manifest, which is placed to the system by the shipping lines, give you the room now to do a declaration to avoid you going for storage and demolish. But with METEC, you will after you have gotten this input notification from the Ministry of Commerce, you must have go to the METEC Scientific and submitting this document to them, paying of fees of 1.2% on the FOB value. If your FOB value is above 15,000, you times that you'll be paying more than $190, which is the normal flat rate. In another thought again we have, we say that government wanting money, you bring to the country or private institutions are collecting all of this money that are now going into the accounts of the consolidated account. It remains to be it remains to be a key issue in line government now raising the required money to support a budget. Because if you do your analysis before the year comes to an end, those entities will be able to accrue more than billions of dollars just for the fees that will pay to them. Some people pay 1 million or 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, and those are things that happen. We expect those money to go to government. So going to METEC Scientific now and submitting a document to them, it takes you sometimes 4 days, 5 days, 2 weeks, which creates some abra and delay in the trading environment. And the ABN terminal actually not going to wait on you though, because they have given us, the business people, 5 days to allow you getting your commodity off on the ABN terminals. Failure to do that, you start to experience what we call storage. So if your document spent more than a week at METEC, you experience some difficulties. One from the shipping line. The shipping line will start to charge you what we call the demurrage service charge after 9 days. The APN terminal will start to charge you storage charges after 5 days. METEC Scientific, they're holding onto your document for reasons best known to the
Is it not the same thing BVAC was doing? Because I was in the port before, and we used to come to BVAC or Broad Street here. It's not the same thing. What different that METEC is doing that BVAC was not doing?
There's a great differences from what BVAC was doing, and that is what METEC is currently doing. BVAC was doing pre-shipment inspection, going to where you purchase your commodity, do inspection there, and send to you your clean report of findings through BVAC here. And your team, your BVAC certificate logged to customs, and customs at that stage were accepting 90 to 95% of BVAC appraisal. On BVAC appraisal document say you're paying 5,000, you log as a quota, obviously you pay similar 5,000. For METEC, if METEC tells you say you're paying 2,000, custom sees like it's a waste of time. Custom will do her own analysis now to allow you to pay full 5,000. So we say,
so are they using different systems? I thought we used one system like BVAC and Asakoda was doing.
So BVAC and Asakoda were using same system. METEC and Asakoda is also using same platform. They are interfacing. But in terms of the analysis in doing the classification on commodity, there are numerous mistakes we have witnessed that allow custom now to be doing her due diligence. So our point here is noticing this entity is always in having these errors, and their role is just to make money for themselves. Government is not actually benefiting extra fees for them. Those fees that we are paying to them, our argument as an individual and the majority of the business people is that we should pay this money to government.
Have you people been engaging these companies all in the port, like ABM terminals? How many times have you both sat on this conversation to say that you reach a common ground?
With a METEC Scientific?
Yes, including involving the government of Liberia as well. Because just a moment, because holding someone's document, you are responsible to ensure that you process my document to get my goods out of the port.
True.
And you hold it for like 3-4 days, and that's the only job you are doing in the port.
True.
All right. You hold it for 3-4 days. The institution that is in charge of my goods adds fees on what I am supposed to pay because of the delay. I think the burden should go on METEC Scientific for delaying people's transaction, not the business people themselves taking responsibility for another person's negligence.
So that's another conversation that I'll get to, but you allow me to get to it now.
Right.
So we have made the cases that the government need to have a regulatory body that institution within the trade chain that will allow the businessmen to experience storage or some unwholesome charges based upon their own negligence should be able to bear those liabilities.
Good.
So I go to Meta with the assumption that I should spend 3 or 4 days there to get my certificate that's called the clean report of findings.
Right.
With no justifiable reason, Meta allow me to be to them for more than a week. My container is at the port. It's accumulating storage. It's accumulating demurrage. At the end of the day, Meta issued me a certificate for no reason why he delayed me. My papers were everything was intact. Who takes the liability? The businessmen obviously in this administration take the liability. We say no to it. We say the Ministry of Commerce, that happens to be the regulatory arm, need to step on our game. That if Metex Scientific or even the shipping line creates a delay on allowing the manifest to be placed to the system in time, they should take the liability in allowing the business people not to go for it.
Right.
So those are things that we think that we should make as a continual conversation and to allow the government and the business people to be aware that these are things that are happening in our trading environment.
Mr. Kiatama, let's move on to another part of the conversation where I know you're going to summarize at the end of the day, but while you're going through this Metec headache and your partners, because you custom brokers, you have business people that you work for.
True.
You people partner, they give you money, go and get my container from the port, the expectation that in 2-3 days the container will be free. But if it takes 4 or 5 days, you, the broker, will not be able to pay. The business person will have to pay the money to that particular company. Tell us about another part of it that even business people have come here to talk about it, but stakeholders in the trade environment, they are refusing to accept our local currency as medium of exchange. Sometimes you go to free container in the port. If you have like $100, no, don't bring that thing here.
US.
Like they treat it like it's a dirty money and they're just acting in our very space. How are you people navigating through that?
So I believe I'm the captain in that regard. I'm the one who championed that voice, and I believe we achieved that is a complete disservice to the business people in our country. Is a reduction to our currency, disallowing this seeing like of no use. And like I always say, that the case studies that I in person did in the Malawi, you would not see it happening in Sierra Leone. The Leones is the prerequisite in doing business in Sierra Leone. You go to Africa, the CFA. You go to Guinea, the CFA. Prerequisite.
Even you go Ghana.
You go Ghana, the cities.
Yeah.
But here in Liberia, the government herself, to pay government duties, they will tell you, say, pay 50%, you will pay 50% Liberian hours.
The government.
The government itself. The government itself. So for us to clean our house, we should start from ourselves. The government also have to rethink in that regard. I remember time pass from former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. There were payments made both currency. It is up to you, though it's optional. If you decide to pay and you did your sales in Liberian dollar, the central bank will have a prevailing rate. The rate of which the central bank will have will be shared to all of these institutions, like they normally do, allowing you as a businessman to have a free flow in the trading environment. You go to APN terminal, you pay to APN terminal in Liberian dollar. It brings to my attention that institutions in Liberia that are refusing to hold Liberian dollar, they are not here for good purpose, they are not here for good reasons. They have only come to take our monies and leave and go. But if they are accepting, they have locals in the institutions that are Liberians. You won't tell me that the Liberians that they have there, they don't use our local currency.
Or maybe they don't sometimes pay them certain percentage in Liberian dollar, certain percentage in US dollars.
Fine. So why would you say you can't hold Liberian dollar?
But Kiatama, this thing has to go beyond just talking as you are engaging it. And engage the central bank, the commerce ministry, the finance ministry,
LRA,
those relevant institutions. Engage them and have a conversation with them so that you can.
But they may always say government themselves.
Yeah, but that's where it should start. So, it should start from the head. So this one is not a bottom to top approach. It should start from the top to the bottom.
So in my mind, to have this to come to actual fruition, there should be a regular stakeholder conversations. And with this, a stakeholder conversation being positive, will raise this issue to the stakeholders in the room to inform them these are the issues. The radio station could be another way to make us say. Going to the various ministries individually, yes, it will make us say, but it will create longevity when it comes to actualization. But quite unfortunate, we've never had stakeholder conversation for the past 6 years under the past regime of President George Manneh. We are currently under this administration. When Double Jala took over office, he saw some reason that he want to have a participatory form of working relationship, and he called to attention. With that, we flag some of these issues, and we are here to get in redress. So we are not going to stop on it. and we'll continuously making it as a case because Matthias, you bear me witness. Go to Waterside Market. Most of the businesses that people do there, they do in our local currency. And Liberia is an import-based country. People wanting to continuously import into our country after they have done the sales, they have to go back to the black market to buy US dollar before paying APM terminal. They have to go back to the black market to buy US dollar before paying Metex Scientific $190 plus. They have to go back to the black market to pay for delivery all of the shipping lines. They have to also go back to the black market to pay to customs. So we think it is an unfair,
I'm telling you, man,
business practice. And we are going to make the cases continuously, and we're hoping that the president of the Republic of Liberia will have a listening ear to listen. One day, call to the table so that we'll tell him that to have a smoothness in our trading environment, to rebrand our trading environment, to make Liberia to be a hub like yesterday, we need to start accepting some of these things to have a significant change in our trading environment.
Another thing I noticed, Julius, is that there are too many, these people, they're dealing with too many different companies almost doing the same thing. What's the difference between Metex Scientific, Liberia Limited, and the GTMS?
So that's one of the
just on one continue, just going through a lot of processes.
Right.
That's one of the critical areas that we see is a serious burden to our trading environment. The Global Tracking Maritime Solutions, GTMS, provide for us what we call the cargo tracking node CTN that says no CTN, no loading on board. Yes, it is actually practiced in other countries, but it is not mandatory. Some other countries choose not to use CTN in the form of the basis for action. But understanding from coming to Liberia, they say they came for security reasons since the 2011 attack at the World Trade Center. So to avoid people bringing wholesome kind of commodity to the country and money laundering and all our stories. But if you go to Sierra Leone to ask how much they pay there for a cargo tracking node and the functions, you will see far past from what they are doing here in Liberia. In Liberia, you declare to customs after you have gone through Metex Scientific. Metex Scientific tells customs, say, yeah, this is what you should be paying to government as a customs duty. Customs say, no, we are going to use the Metex, the CTN certificate that says to us that this is what you should be paying. CTN did not come to Liberia to do evaluation. No, they came for security reasons. And if they came for security reasons, the working shouldn't be a custom related activities. Right. So you pay to CTN a flat rate of $250 US additional cost to the business environment. You go to Metex
additional money, $250.
$250. Wow. You go to Metex Scientific, you pay 1.2% or a flat rate of $190 if the FOV value is around 15,500. So we see all of these as burdens. And if you're having two institutions that are doing two work for you separately, but you chose to identify with this CTN, so we say in our voice, if you see it necessary to work with CTN, avoid using Metex in our country. If you see it necessary to work with Metex, avoid having CTN in our country. It will have to reduce some of the costs that our business people are going through. It will have to reduce on the cost of commodity on the market because of all of these high rates, high fees, West experience, people experience in the trade environment, allowing commodity on the market to be our high rate. In short, the cargo tracking node, yes, but their own understanding, there should be the work done under the wings of the National Port Authority. But one of the things that we see happening in our country most often in the trade environment.
That's what I want to ask you. Whether the National Port Authority have that.
That people also the responsibility to institutions for reasons best known to themselves. Like the LRA also the responsibility to the Metex Scientific. LRA also the MP also the responsibility to Metex to GTMS. The workings there should be done by a Liberian institution that will also, like I said, bring those money to central government. Yeah. All of the fees that we're paying to CTN, all of the fees that we're paying to Metex Scientific, if you merge this money, the thoughts from Commissioner General Towards the line of the raise billions, we can raise those billions.
And I think maybe one of the things that somebody may consider is that is the issue of transparency, that maybe that's why the government is letting all the foreign institutions to come into our commerce and transact business with you people. Because if you just put only Liberian, maybe LRA, let's say LRA MP and thing to take care of it, sometimes folks may say, well, I mean, these people, we cannot be trusted. We cannot trust each other.
I can look at it from that perspective.
But just why I put that to you is that I also want you to just list for us how many institutions does one have to pass through before you get a container out.
So the beginning point is the Ministry of Commerce, the model institution.
One.
You go to Ministry of Commerce with your invoice in the bill of lending.
Mhm.
After you have gone to Ministry of Commerce, they satisfy your input notification form. You proceed to Medtech Scientific.
Two.
For Medtech Scientific, you have to go to the shipping lines. The shipping lines are the one who place in the system because they are the carrier of the cargoes.
Right.
And they play a very key role. They should place the
So that's
manifest. They should place the manifest within the Asakura system.
Yeah,
before
that's
you
three.
can know three. From the shipping lines, then you proceed to the APM terminal family, where you go there and get delivery of your consumption. No, from the shipping lines, you log to the Asakura system. That's the government.
Yeah.
That's 4, right?
Right.
Yeah. After you are logged to government, pay to government, and government have approved your payment through the central bank. You do Asakura first. Asakura come out with a print of what that will call the assessment notice. You take the assessment notice to the central bank. That's 5. Central bank receive your payment from the miners check that you have been paying to consolidate the account. And central bank receive that check and convert you to the flag receipt to show a proof that yes, this man have paid. He requires fees to government. Then you proceed now to the ABN terminal 6. From the ABN terminal's family, ABN terminal get continue loaded, then come back to the MPA where MPA perform a role in allowing you to get the container out. But
7.
But it takes sufficient energy, it takes sufficient time, and a lot.
I know you don't have
So
to
is
mention
it
that.
7 different entities
7 different areas you need to pass to get a container.
to get
filled.
just one
You
container
don't have to
out.
tell me how much energy it takes because the reason why I asked the question about how many institutions you deal with is because I want to know how long it would take one to get a container. Because if you can go through all of that 7 different institutions, you're not going to do everything in a day's time.
Is that the reason why some consignee always send up containers out of the country and then you people go
You
and
receive
clear?
to Guinea.
Yeah, sometimes because
fill
sometimes I got a coastal broker friend. They say I'm going to Guinea to collect container. Sometimes I go to Sierra Leone. Is
So
that the
there are
reason?
too many reasons why I see people going to Sierra Leone, going to Guinea to get container off on the port. Some say on the issue of our freight payment here at the ABN terminal. Some say our custom administration in the region is too rigid. Some say the all institutions in the trading environment that pay fees, there are too many. But some say predictability. Like for Guinea, you go to Guinea will say for the feeder container that contains 3 cars, you should pay 2,000. You are aware that you should be paying 2,000. But yeah, in Labrador, you can get 40 feeder container with 2 cars. 2 persons get 40 feeder container with 2 cars. There's a possibility that one person pays 6,000. There's a possibility that one person pays 1,500. There's no predictability. So with this in mind, as a business individual, you already have in mind that I'll go so I'll pay this, and then obviously you will pay. And then they will do what we call transshipping from Guinea to Liberia. You get the Liberia Bolo and just show your transshipping payment and pay 2.5%, and you go just and take it.
Let's look at the last thing. One of the things that is also prevalent in the port there is that shipping lines request for reprint. I don't know what that is. Late payment fees and container deposits.
So
let's sum that up because we have a few minutes.
So those are all barriers that we have in our trading environment. Now we have gone automation. I must employ this administration for that. That we have gone automation 100%. All of the activities that we do in the port, they are automated. And if you say automation, meaning we are going from paper to paperless. With that, there's no need, there's no thinking that I should pay for reprint. Why you call reprint? Reprint of what? I'm doing automation. Is that I send you a message, oh, the message you send me, the message is wrong. Please resend it to me. I'm resending it. I should be the one paying the fees based on my automation. I'm burning my data.
Right.
So, but then you say I should pay you for a reprint service and service fee. We have flagged this issue also up to the central administration, which is government, that the issue of reprint, late payment fees. Late payment fee for what? I pay already demurrage. In as much as I have gone to your institution and saying, oh, you want to use this container for X number of time, and the time elapsed, you gave to me 9 days. If I don't get this container off on the port within 9 days, I should start experiencing what we call storage and demurrage. So if on the shipping line I'm experiencing demurrage, why should you question me for reprint? I already got a penalty there that is awaiting me that's called the demurrage service charge. So they allow me to pay my demurrage service charge and forget about late payment. Even if I don't come from a container on time, but in as much I come from a container, I will pay to you the demurrage service charge, which will be at least a bit logical to too many business individuals, and too many business people will not be willing to allow the goods to go to demurrage.
No.
But you say late payment application fees of $50 US. Convert $50 US to our local currency to almost
that's close to $9,000.
Plus.
Okay, lastly, How consistent do you intend to remain in this advocacy now that you are not in leadership, you are in opposition? I think you have more time to observe things and see it from a different angle, because most time when you're in the fence, you cannot see some things where you're outside the fence now.
So I think this will be like my bed.
Okay.
I should have the chance to rest on it every day. So I won't have the chance to have the regular conversation to the public, the business people,
right,
informing them on the technical barriers of having a trade environment, if not weekly, or at least 3 times every month, to discuss the core issues and bringing government to attention, not only the Brokers Association, because I believe that too many things we expect to come from the Brokers Association will not be attended to, but we as members of the OSA community will be prepared adequately to engage the media through all the 11 members making these necessary cases.
Okay, and lastly, before we open the lines, what is the last span of your leadership?
So
is it 2 years, 5 years?
3 years.
3 years.
3 years
For the president.
For the president.
So
and
how we
all,
go-
and all other officials.
Are we going to see you contest here again?
I'm looking at a bigger picture of our democracy.
Okay. He's
Okay.
Maurice K. Atamba. He's from the National Custom Brokers Association, and he contested recently, got defeated by James Lawrence. And he says, well, if he's reached out to, he might be available to support, but at the same time, his bet is going to be advocacy now, consistent advocacy, incessant advocacy. My name is Matthias, and I'm here with Julius Akobo Boki. We have 9 minutes to go. Let's engage you for your participation.
0777-777-107, 0777-221-223. If you're out of Liberia and watch our Facebook pages, call us on the WhatsApp number +231-777-221-223 and talk to, just respond to what some of the things we discussed here. Kiatama said a lot, and I guess you are listening. Good morning. Okay, that calls off the line. Let's see what I've got. Someone on line 2, nobody there. 0777-777-107, 0777-221-223. Of course, a lot of things we talk about. Medtech. I didn't know. Anyway, I just saw Medtech page. Good morning. Good morning.
And good morning to the studio guys.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. So what's your name?
Yeah, my name is Wani Bema, a custom broker too.
Okay, Wani, let's hear you.
Yeah, I just want to extend my thanks and appreciation to Mr. Atama for all of the issues. We hope that central government will listen and take into account all of what we're going through. We're going through a lot along with these people.
Okay.
So that now that we have our new government, we hope that they will listen and do what needs to be done for the business environment. Thank you so much, Mr. Katama, for reflecting all of those issues.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. 0777-777-107, 0777-221-223. The WhatsApp numbers are available as well. +231-777-221-223 is a WhatsApp number. Call us and have your say. We got 8 minutes to wrap it up, so we'll wrap it up shortly. But let's talk to this caller on line 2. Good morning. Oh, that call is off the line. Sorry for being off. Off. 0777-107, 0777-221-223 are the numbers you can call to participate. We'll talk about the Medtech issue at the port. We'll talk about the stakeholder meeting. We'll talk about the GTMS and then the reprint, and of course, late payment fees, continued deposit, etc. What do you make of that? Are you a custom broker? Call us and tell your experience as well. Do you agree with Mr. Katamba? If you don't agree, tell us why you don't agree. If you agree with him, fine. That's a good one. But let's go to line 1. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I'm George S. Woody.
Calling from where?
Thank you, Mr. Katama. You are doing well over there. I think you are saying the fact. The activity is too much. The protocol is too long to clear. Yeah.
You call it protocol. I like it.
And so costly also. So especially for the GTMS, we need to go.
Okay. Thank you. GTMS more go. That's what he said. Line 2. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing, sir?
Fine, thank you, sir.
Rufus, we're calling from Maryland. How you doing?
Okay, Rufus, let's hear you.
Yeah, you see, that's the reason why Liberia is not going nowhere. Our country is not going nowhere because the money goes to people pockets and the government not benefit nothing. We're not going nowhere. It's so sad, because the system is behind. The 21st century, What will you pay all that money? 7 different entities. It's crazy. It's crazy.
So for those of you in the US, I mean, when you're shipping things, I mean, how much do you budget to clear those things?
Hey, Julius. Here, if you ship your container all of this country, is got no problem.
Okay.
Now the people of Monrovia got the nature problem. A lot of people that were shipping stuff to Liberia, they stop. They stop because you shipping things to help your people. And like example, you bought a car for $5,000. You get to Liberia, they ask you to pay $6,000-$7,000 for the car. That make any sense?
No, at all. Thank you, Rufus.
Yeah, now what? Yeah, all right.
Thank you, Rufus. Other from the USA. The message you back up for 6,000, you begin to continue for 7,000. Matthias,
yeah,
you can do that.
That's a serious one. I have a friend who is into used car business. Most time he complains about that.
How are I going back up 6,000 now? Begin to continue. You got to clear and pay 7,000.
Right.
What's the essence? Anyway.
And one thing again, I think the government also need to look at is on the issue of the penalty that they have on the impose on car with ages. They say if you break into Liberia, car that is above the age of 11.
Right.
Yeah, those are things that happen in country where have the needed mechanism in terms of road connectivity.
Right.
And they have the good road, they have the good or workings in terms of security also businesses.
Right.
They have the mechanics also to get involved into that. But Liberia, who don't have road, you saying to us that we shouldn't bring cars above the age of 15 years. We think the reason should be some hazardous reasons.
Right.
But if it comes to the issue of road, we don't have the road yet.
No.
And it's simple to bring cars to the country that should be 4 years, 5 years, 10 years.
So, Mr. Captain, I talk to the last caller and then you can wrap it up. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Iwo.
Oh, Omar, how are you?
I'm fine.
Nice to hear you.
I want to tell the government, instead of Guinea or Ivory Coast receiving all the money that we're supposed to receive, because this is already stated in their step. To bring your car from where to where, to pay $1, and to take it from there to come to Liberia, it's $35. Why must you let them go to play? For what? We need resources to the food. Why are the kids doing the carriage down to report? So I'm asking the people, let me stretch the attention there. People want to bring a container, but the money they're charging is too much. I beg for
You will pass through 7 different institutions before you can clear one container.
Exactly.
Just imagine that.
It's not a thing. You should tell people to do what they're supposed to do. Or let us go there. Because it's get for us. And so people have to pay at least. If $2 will pay so that's $50. And for $2 now, you go out and people that used to pay it, they struggle. Because of the damage. It's too much, my son. And the government bring it down, backing them.
Thank you, Diwa. Thank you very much, Mother Diwa. That's our last caller.
It's our last caller, and Mr. Katamba, with just 1 minute, let's wrap up. What should we expect from the custom brokers? What should we expect from you, Mr. Katamba? What should we expect in new different approach or engagement with the new regime so that you cannot keep talking the same thing and no result?
It's my thought that the leadership on the hours of President James Hina will tighten their belts in making the needed cases. At least you have seen recently that one of his very close ally stood in the face to contest against him for a reason. So that alone brings sufficient attention to his thought that there were things he needed to do he was not doing.
Would you criticize the leadership if it doesn't do well?
If the leadership is involved in doing things commendable, obviously trust me, I will commend them. If it goes on the contrary to be debunked, I will definitely do.
Okay. Conclude quickly in 30 seconds.
To the government of Liberia, we are here prepared, ready, adequately to make the cases so that our trading environment, Liberian perspective might change. Trade is the key work in terms of building our nation. Thank you ever so much to the Scarfin family, and I hope this to be my home in the not too distant future.
Right. But how long you been to the custom broken soon?
15 to 14.
I can see
15 to 16 years.
I was I love you guys. All right. So Matthias, let's wrap it up quickly.
Yeah, Monday. We'll be back.
Yes. So folks, thanks for being there. Thanks for joining us. This is the last edition for the week. Next week, Monday, we'll be here again to bring you another fascinating edition. Matthias Labendi and Julius Boki will say have yourselves a wonderful God luck. And we will come back next week, fire up again. You know, we always do this. But until we catch you, we'll catch you again. Bye-bye from our end.
What LBR.com, piggy. One more freedom forever.
Exclusive from hotlbr.com.
When they were coming, they said they were freedom fighter. When they were coming, they said they were liberator. But when they give their crown, they change their mind. When they give their crown, they change